What up, guys and gals? Welcome back to Degreelessness, where we're fresh to death like a mausoleum. I'm your host, the adorable and irrepressible 21st century digital boy himself, Shanghai Pete. Thank you so much for chilling with us tonight. We've got just some quick, lighthearted catharsis for you today. Sometimes I just need to be pissed about something and get it out of my system. I'm sure you all know what that's like. So those of you who think that sounds like fun, stick around. Those of you who are only here for video game stuff, though, you might want to give this one a pass. And with that, it's time to get deep inside. Yup, as you've probably no doubt heard, unfortunately for all of us regular people, the week so far has been dominated by Elon Musk's continued selfish, entitled, morally bankrupt, childish antics. And whether you've been asking for it or not, I'm here to provide the only correct take on this madness. Yes, free speech has been miraculously saved at the 0 hour by a rich guy. Right. Because of course it has. Rich people, widely known for their boundless generosity and constantly using their money to improve the lives of regular people and society at large. Am I right? Congrats, Elon. By buying Twitter, you somehow found a way to make one of the world's most nauseating hives of scum and villainy even worse. A round of applause for the billionaire, everybody. You might be struggling to pay rent or feed your family, but the world's richest man has just added another trinket to his collection, so the peasants better rejoice, right? As you know, especially if you watched our last video, I hate Elon Musk. I hate him because he's a fucking entitled asshole with no regard for anyone but himself. I also hate him because, well, I hate billionaires because I think they're dangerous and a threat to the healthy functioning of a modern democratic society, or what remains of one in our case. Elon is also a narcissistic prick and a 4chan shitposter, sweet rare Pepe Elon, who behaves like a spoiled child. And if you think that he's ever done anything, for any reason, other than the satiation of his own ego, you are a fucking idiot. He is not like you. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about anyone. He cares about attention and convincing himself that people like him. And buying Twitter is just another example of that. Okay, so maybe you're not quite ready to believe that. Remember, and I know this is practically a meme now, but for good reason, that just in the past year, Elon Musk declined to donate a meager $6 billion to the UN for world hunger, barely 3% of his total net worth, by the way, but had no problem dropping $44 billion buying Twitter just to jerk his ego off a little bit. Think about that. $6 billion for world hunger? No, fuck that. But $44 billion to shitpost on Twitter? Oh, sure thing, right away. So to be clear, just so you know you're understanding this correctly, this is a guy who, with his $44 billion, could have done more good for the world than literally everyone in the past century combined. Or he could make Twitter his own personal little rich people's clubhouse. Tough call, right? Imagine you yourself being in that position and thinking, I don't know, I could become the greatest humanitarian the world has maybe ever seen, or I could shitpost on Twitter some more. And then deciding, nah, fuck using my world-changing amounts of money to help people, let's whine on Twitter some more instead.
That's a W, bro.
Yeah, sounds like a great guy. Teslas are so cool, right? Now, overall, despite my hatred for this fucking sniveling, cancerous egomaniac, I don't actually care what he does with Twitter. It just grinds my fucking gears when horrible people continue to avoid getting what they fucking deserve. They don't get thrown in jail for violating labor laws en masse, they don't get charged for violating SEC regulations, and they don't face consequences for breaking laws like normal people would. Instead, they're able to continue exploiting the rest of us to further grow the absurd pile of wealth that they throw their temper tantrums from atop of, shitting and pissing themselves as they squeal and whine about how they aren't getting enough attention. The only possible good that could come out of the world's most spoiled brat taking control of the world's most depraved den of self-indulgent narcissism is that his infinite obsession with himself and myopic view of regular people cause him to accidentally burn the entire thing to the fucking ground. Now, that would be awesome, however unlikely. Then there's also the public square argument. Oh, the so-called public square, huh? So, the public square is something that's under the complete ironclad control of one person with obscure algorithms shoving ads in your face and determining who sees what. That's the public square. Twitter, a private company, is the fucking public square. And lining up behind our preferred billionaire and cheering them on as they continue to take over all the means of communication is somehow a good thing? I'm sorry, but if anyone is under the assumption that a situation like that would somehow lead to more freedom and not less, I regret to inform you that you're out of your fucking mind. Billionaires historically in favor of freedom, right? Here's a great example. Let's take a look at the 2021 Forbes 400 richest people in the US list. Number 1, owns the Washington Post, one of the largest newspapers in the world. Number 2, just bought Twitter. Number 3, owns Facebook. Number 5 and 6, Google. 4 and 9, Microsoft. And 10, Bloomberg. But no, tell me again how billionaires are the answer to free speech and freedom. Jesus fucking Christ. Relying on people like that to either save or doom us is one of the bleakest fucking things I can imagine. The very idea should disgust and horrify you. And if it doesn't, you should probably take a moment to consider just what the fuck is wrong with you. Now, listen guys, as fun as it is tearing apart dangerous sadistic pigs like Elon Musk, it's not really the point. Here's the point. None of this matters. Not really. In reality, it's just another monster of the week story. Just another boogeyman to get you all riled up so hopefully you forget how impoverished and abused you are and don't break out the torches and pitchforks. Last week it was, the fun Johnny Depp trial. Before that it was Will Smith and Chris Rock. Before that it was Joe Rogan and Spotify. And this week it's Elon Musk. And oh God, what will happen to our precious Twitter? Who will see my tweets? It's all just a distraction. After all, corporate media's most important mandate is to distract you from things that you should actually care about, things that could truly affect you or your life circumstances, and instead focus on the idiotic clown show that the elites and villains put on for all of us 24/7. They do it for everything. It doesn't matter if it's Wall Street politics, the video games industry, or social media moneyballing. You, a normal person, are not going to notice anything different about your daily life because one more oligarch has control of one more thing that you use. Spoiler alert, our lives are already controlled by a small handful of sociopathic oligarchs. That's why you probably work at least 2 jobs and can't afford to buy a house. One more, as much as I might hate him, it's not going to change anything. Besides, he's probably just going to get bored with this after a few weeks like he does everything else. Let the blue check marks and the wealthy elites have their sad little argument over this. It's got nothing to do with us. We're over this way.
Woke up, smoke up, blunt, then I pass out. Woke up, what up, smoke up, blunt, then I'm back down.